Welcome back. In tonight's Patriot Report, he was shot in the leg during the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival that happened in Las Vegas nearly 3 years ago. Still, he managed to help rescue folks. Then, while in the hospital, he pushed through intense pain and stood up when our commander-in-chief and the First Lady entered his hospital room. Since then, he's received death threats. He's been in constant pain, but through it all, Thomas Gunderson has remained a patriot and a proud supporter of gun rights and our president. Thomas Gunderson joining me now live to discuss everything over the past 3 years been going on in his life and why he is a proud patriot. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us on Real America. How are you, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thomas, so for folks at home know, you and I met, about how long ago? A couple of weeks after the shooting. We met through a mutual friend, John Rich, through Big and Rich, and we've been friends for quite a while. After I learned what happened to you that night, I was fortunate enough to get off the stage and actually leave the venue about 3 songs before the shooting, and you weren't so lucky. If you don't mind, and I know it's tough, brother, would you mind telling us a little bit about that night so folks can kind of know some background?
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a lot of videos out there and people have seen a lot of things, but it doesn't quite do justice to what it's like being inside of something like that, you know? I think the hardest part about it is seeing people that aren't prepared for something like that, you know? It's all just innocent people in there just trying to enjoy their time, trying to have fun. When something like that happens, not a lot of people in there are trained and know what to do, you know? And that's what made it so tough, is seeing people that, you know, simply just want to live. They just want to be out of there, and trying to get people out of there that are just scared, never experienced, you know, stuff like that. And that's definitely one of the toughest things, is, you know, remembering seeing those types of faces and how scared people were, you know?
Yeah, of course. Since that happened, we'll fast forward to you're in the hospital room, and I think the nation, we were, for the most part, coming together and mourning the deaths of over 50 Americans and over 200 wounded. But then, of course, the debate came up within 24 to 36 hours, mainly from the left. Gun control, take the guns, take the guns, take the guns. What's your take on that today? Have you changed your mind? What is your position on the Second Amendment and gun control?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a full supporter of the Second Amendment. And that's something that was so incredibly frustrating for me, was doing interviews with different news media outlets and the whole point of me doing that was to push unity in our country and not, you know, blame guns at that time, and to see how many leftist media outlets would spin everything that I said and put out just kind of whatever they want and cut everything I had to say about unity and push, hey, this guy got shot. And it was so frustrating. And it's actually why I ended up only taking interviews from Fox News from that point on, was because they're the only people that would literally tell the full story and what I was trying to say. And no, I mean, there was, if anything, I'm even more of a supporter of gun rights. And yeah, maybe in this instant, it's about the only mass shooting that's ever happened that having a gun on you wouldn't have helped in that situation. The guy happened to be in a hotel across the street. It is what it is. But those are the reasons that I literally would carry a gun with me, is for something like that, if that ever happened.
Yeah. Thomas, I'm so glad you just said that, so that our viewers on Real America can hear it from a real American. You have no agenda. You're not running for office. You're just a hard-working guy trying to make a living in a state, I know where you live, that's hard to make a living in right now. And you're telling them, and I love to hear what you just said, and hopefully they really listen to that, that you would do an interview, you would talk to someone, and the media would twist your words. They would not air exactly what you said. They take snippets or sound bites. That's what the mainstream media does. They don't let you speak in full and tell your story. They do a headline and they twist. So I'm so glad you said that. Let's fast forward, because we only have a couple minutes left, to the hospital room. Talk to me about, and I think we have that picture or video we can bring up while we're talking to Thomas about this. Our commander-in-chief, and by the way, you're not a veteran, you've never been in the military, but you were taught to respect the office. And so take it from there. The president and the first lady come into your hospital room, and then?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, one of the greatest experiences of my life, if not the greatest experience of my life, you know, to go from something so tragic, but to meet the president of the United States. And there's really just no greater honor than to be able to do that. And, you know, I happen to be a Trump supporter, yes. But what frustrates me is if it was any president, I would have done the same thing. You respect the office, you respect the president, and but it was so amazing to be able to meet Donald Trump and the president. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. We've got that. I know you can't see it. I don't know if you can or not, but the image is up right now of POTUS walking into your hospital bed. And for folks that don't know, I believe, did you tell me the bullet was still lodged in your leg at that point, or they had extracted it?
No, actually, the bullet went completely through my leg. There was a lot of shrapnel in my leg. It went through and through. But it was, I can't even tell you the immense pain it felt to even just be vertical. The blood would run through and basically all the nerves, and the pain was unbearable. So, but you know what, like, it is what it is. You deal with 30 seconds of pain to shake the president's hand, and that's just how I felt about it. It's just something that I believe in. And that's why you're in the Patriot Report, sir. You're a patriot because, you know, I was in the military. As you just said, you were not, but we were both taught by our families, you respect the office. You know, and in my 20-some-year news career, when I met different presidents from different party affiliations, I stood at attention, remember my military days, because that is the commander-in-chief. Did I vote for Bill Clinton? No. When I met Bill Clinton, my God, was I, whoa, that is the president. That's what you do. You respect the office. Tell folks, we only got about a minute left, what it's been like for you since this. It's going to be 3 years next month. You get threats from people. You get death threats for simply standing up after being shot. Is that correct? Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the main reasons I kind of stopped posting so much. You know, it was something I loved to do, was to post and people that were suffering and hurting the same way, and trying to create unity. But yeah, for the first while, I got just countless people saying, "Oh, you both should have been shot," or "You should have been shot in the head," or, you know, "You should have been killed," stuff like that, you know, and simply because, and the funny thing is, I never even said that I support Donald Trump, but they just simply saw a picture of me shaking his hand, and they went straight to death threats, and to my family too, not just me, but to my family as well. So it's very frustrating. That's the, that is the tolerant left that we're dealing with in this country today. Thomas Gunderson, a survivor of Route 91, the Harvest Music Festival in Las Vegas, and a patriot to this country. Thomas, thank you so much for coming on the show. You're invited on anytime, sir. Thank you so much, man. Be well. You too, buddy. Yep. God bless. All right. Straight ahead on Real America. He's a hard-nosed lawyer in a state that's pretty tough to be a conservative and a Trump supporter. We'll talk with attorney David Wall about how the left is stamping on your rights, especially in liberal-controlled states. Don't go away.